will be fun. This will be a lot of fun to watch.
I feel like I'll need it. Okay, so first off, let's start from the ship. I used to start at the difficulty screen, but I usually start here now.
SDA time.
All right, roll call. So I'm Spiriax.
I'm Duckfist.
And I'm Air Rider.
All right, so let's get going here. Oh, that's
Nice,
fine.
okay.
That happens because sometimes I split and I like exit out of the cutscene, but I forgot there was no cutscene, it was over.
So Spiriax is playing Battle Kid 2 on normal mode. There's a few different difficulty options. The only significant gameplay differences are on easy mode, you have 3 HP, but in the other difficulty modes, you die in 1 hit. So it's very much inspired by the I Want to Be the Guy games, if it wasn't obvious by the main character. But the main objective is just to get through, learn difficult screens, and you have to pass through maybe like 12 in a row before we get to a checkpoint. Just make it to each next checkpoint to be able to survive. This is the intro stage. Here's Spiriax fighting the first boss, Helga. Very nice. Killed her on the right side. Some good mashing is required to take down bosses in Battle Kid 2. But the intro stage is definitely a much easier start to the
All right,
game.
McDonald's jingle come up.
What?
McDonald's jingle?
What? The McDonald's jingle. It's the bassy McDonald's jingle. I never thought of that. It's him in the credits.
Bring the first real area.
Area 02.
So yeah, Spiriax skips the corners here. The corners they use for seeing what screen you're on. So they would be displayed in the top right corner, but they're pointless if you know the map.
Yeah, and when you collect the item, it freezes for like a second as a dialogue box popped up, so you might as well skip it.
It's like, yeah.
But, ooh. So speedrunning this game is about being consistent, because 1 hit, 1 kill. Going out of your way for save points costs time, so ideally, if you want to go as fast as possible, you skip every save point, making it a very scary run if you're going for top times.
I skipped the first save because if I would die there, I would start at the ship anyways.
Right. Not too much of a time difference.
You're actually very brave running this on a normal and not on easy, where you actually have 3 hits. So yeah, it's going pretty YOLO on this.
This is more Battle Kid 1 style, without the extra HP.
I always thought Battle Kid was really scary to run on a marathon, because it's like you get punished so hard for the tiniest mistake all the time.
Right, right. I mean, if you die immediately after a checkpoint, it's not much of a time loss, but if you die right before the next checkpoint, then minutes are gone.
Yeah, you get destroyed.
Spiriax had a really nice first area there, approaching the first real boss of the game.
Like a nice golem.
Nice. A nice goal, yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. So each of the bosses have between, I think, 32 and 64 HP. That one, I think, had like 48. I forget, but most of the bosses involve just learning really difficult patterns, like Mega Man style. But it's usually trial and error because you die in 1 hit. It'll take several repetition to understand the boss's patterns. But as a speedrunner, Spiriax knows all of the boss's patterns by heart. And he's a very good masher, so that helps out quite a bit during this game. Moving into the Nexus of Caves, I think that's what the song is called. But, this is kind of the hub area for most of the game. Scary room there.
Taking it a bit easy, yeah.
See, each new area introduces some new enemy types. This one has the unique pickaxe throwing guys, which are kind of annoying to have, what, 6 HP or 8 HP?
Yeah, 6.
6.
Oh, that was weird.
Good choice at that save point.
Yeah.
They're especially annoying because their pickaxes block your bullets. And since they have so much health, they can be kind of difficult to destroy. You have these slime guys that, as you see, once you pass their horizontal position, they just drop. And for many of these rooms, there's always like slightly faster strategies, but they just get progressively more and more risky. So Spiriax has chosen all the techniques that he wants to do just to kind of have a consistent run. But you'll be seeing a lot of really impressive stuff. So.
Initially, I didn't want to grab the save after the first boss because those are the worst to take. The save I just grabbed is like, it's a short sidetrack, but the boss saves are the worst because then you have to actually backtrack.
Yeah, 2 or 3 screens usually.
But we'll see. If I've like, when I start feeling a bit more calm, I might skip those, I'm not sure.
So this part of the caves introduces the water sections and brings back a fish enemy from Battle Kid 1, sort of. But naturally, just like most, it's very much inspired by Mega Man as well, this game. So just like that, and just like a lot of other platformers, you have very low gravity underwater. So a lot of these tricks are around low gravity.
Oh my god.
The underwater stages are really solid in Battle Kid overall. Like,
yeah, it's
it really works. Like it's never like annoying or anything.
not like a Mario game where underwater sections are awful. Yeah.
Initially, I didn't want to go for the fast strat in that room, so I don't know what I was doing.
Oh.
Ooh, 1 frame jump.
I guess it was because I was talking or something. I don't know.
Also, it's a little bit of a hard game, so that's okay. Finally, out of the caves section, getting the first real upgrade, and one of the first big differences from Battle Kid 1. And this one, they introduced the wall jumping. And there's wall jumping in other games, is obviously you've heard of the mechanic if you're familiar with platformers, but in Battle Kid 2, it's very, like the subtleties behind the wall jumping is really, really nice. It's really easy to wall jump, you have a lot of control. Like being able to kind of slide down the wall by holding the A button and releasing it to grab it. It's really, really interesting how he implemented it. The control in this game is very intuitive. So the entire game was, for the most part, made by one guy, Savak. Who's responsible for the complete design, I think all of the design of all the enemies and main character and the story, most of the NES programming, and composed all of the music as well. So it's really impressive effort all by one guy to have such a polished game.
But it is so solid. Like it has like no glitches or anything, and it's just so well made.
Yeah, for an NES game, which
Yeah.
NES games are known for just being glitch-ridden and having all sorts of design issues. Usually you have to have. It took companies a long time to start making really good games, but this is just such a highly polished series. It could easily be mistaken for, professional Nintendo game by a huge company.
I mean, if this was released in the NES area, I mean, this would be like a classic game.
Yeah, definitely. What is it? You can pick up both games at it's retrozone.com?
I think the Retro USB.
Yeah,
Retro
that's right.
USB. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's the only shop that sells it, and you can find more information about it at Savak's website. It's like savakgames.net or something. But highly recommend it if you enjoy platformers to support these games. Maybe he'll make another one one of these days.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
They're really fantastic and deserve all their attention. So, in the sewer section, we didn't really mention it much. There's the sludge mechanic, which is a little different than Battle Kid 1, which is essentially just water, but with slower, like maximum velocity for everything, for movement, and for moving left and right, and for jumping and falling. It's kind of strange, but it's still pretty. It's still pretty solid mechanic, I think. These bazooka rats, I always thought they were pandas. I don't know, it's really nice. But it was a very smooth sewer section, no deaths. Onto the first, or the second boss here. Yeah.
It's called the Bird Grind.
Vertigrind.
Yeah, the vertigo.
Pretty strange name for that.
Something I found out pretty recently is if you stand at this block where I was standing, you can bait him to do the attack he does at the ceiling, that one. It
Yeah,
only goes from the right.
That's very nice.
I mean, from the left to the right.
And then
So,
you'd run up right next to him and just plant blank against it. Yeah, it makes it a really quick kill.
because before I didn't know that, so whenever he did that slime at the ceiling, he went the other way, and that was obviously a very bad attack because I couldn't do anything.
The little computer screen you touched informs you that you have a map. So if you blind race this game, please read that computer screen. And it's necessary to read it before you proceed, or else Timmy will stop and complain. But Spiriax went out of the way to grab that teleporter there. You see at the top, you see TP and then the C in the middle. That tells you which teleporters you have activated. And he just went there because it's going to be useful to teleport around just to optimize the route. And he'll be coming back to that location a little bit later.
Backtracking here.
Yeah, going through the area was before to go at to the wall climbers.
Yeah, now that you have the wall jump, possibilities have opened up in Metroidvania style.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sketch.
Fine.
Nothing to worry about. You have Yoku blocks from Mega Man, like the inspirations from like Mega Man and Metroidvanias. And, I Want to Be the Guy. It's a really interesting hybrid of all those. Of course, the Blue Cave is introducing ice physics. Ice physics are a little bit strange in this game. It's difficult to explain the subtleties, but it's not like any other ice physics in any other game. But, well, with some similarities. Like in Mega Man, it's just like in Mega Man, it makes it easy to, ooh, nice jump.
Down.
Control your position by jumping continuously.
Yeah, I think it works like if you run one direction and then like tap the other, then you just stop. You don't stop sliding.
And if you let go, you just
you just
coast
continue
really
like,
far. That's a really scary room to try and do fast.
Yeah, that one's really crazy.
That's a funny room.
I love it flying.
It looks,
man.
yeah, it looks just crazy, but it's not too tough. One of the challenging aspects of running this game is there's just so many rooms. In this game, in Battle Kid 2, I think there's like 600 different unique rooms. And it's a pretty long run, as you can see the estimate. One of the most challenging things is just being able to remember what room is coming up next and having your strats ready, like as soon as you enter the room sometimes, which can take many, many playthroughs. Here's the first fight with one of the game's antagonists, Ivan. You see the music has changed. It's kind of an interesting fight. If you spin too long in the fight, it becomes more and more difficult as the back part of the screen gets filled with columns of ice. Good job. But with awesome jumping and mashing like Mr. Speedrun has, makes it quite easy.
I don't know if I ever beat that with like just 2 columns. I think I always got them 3. Like that's some real nice match.
Yeah, that was really good. Like mostly three shots per jump is really, really good. So that was the first key. Oh, that's I don't think I would have tried that one. Very nice. Especially you didn't go back and save him, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So there's
Crazy.
So yeah, he could have gone back, and there was like 3 rooms before a save point just to get to those 2 scary rooms. Okay. This section, this transition screen to the haunted shrine, is particularly difficult. It's where the game really starts to ramp up.
I really love that area. The haunted shrine. It's so cool.
Yeah. The level design never stops being amazing. It just keeps getting better and better.
Every area is so unique in this game. It's pretty impressive. Very distinct.
May I cut in for a quick donation?
Absolutely.
I got $5 from Scratchy. Totally hyped for Battle Kid 2. Good luck with the run, Spiriax. And we got $12.34 by Anonymous. Hey Spiriax, This is Yellow King, if you recognize the name. Good luck on the run. I'm always down for watching some Battle Kid. Thank you guys for the donation, guys. Keep them coming.
I really appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Ooh, you went for it.
Yeah. Somehow I've gotten really consistent with that strat. So something worth noting about the teleporters is that there's actually an animation to let you know that you grab the teleporters in this game, in comparison to the Battle Kid 1 where you just leave the room immediately. So that's kind of cool.
Unfortunately, these first few screens are awful, particularly this one and the next one. I wish there was faster ways through them, but there really isn't. So you have to defeat these like little necromancer guys to stop the ghosts from spawning. The ghosts you can't actually defeat, and the necromancers have 6 HP. So that was really good. That's probably the fastest you could do that screen. It's very, very rough. Those spike sections are really hard the first time through
That was weird.
without consistent practice. Well, the timing is really easy once you know what to do, but it looks crazy.
As usual with the Battle Kid, whenever something goes wrong in the room, you can always reset it, and it will go back to exactly the same as it was when I first entered the room.
It's one of the really nice things about speedrunning this, is that every time you enter a room, every room is exactly the same every time, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Bosses will be different with randomly chosen patterns, but it's a very consistent, low RNG game, high skill cap. It's a particularly strange room. The strategy here is really interesting. Little wizards are the only things that can destroy those little purple blocks. So you have to lead their shots into them. And it's really tough to get them to shoot in a consistent direction.
Like this room.
It's very mind-bending.
I think I'm gonna have to do that again.
Yeah, more shots. The last checkpoint section in the Haunted Shrine. Most areas are divided up like this. When you enter a new section that starts new music, it'll be 3 main sections separated by save points until the boss. That's pretty common design pattern.
Oh,
wow, that's weird. That's really weird.
That's a really annoying screen too, just to get those guys to shoot in the right spots.
takes so damn long.
It really does. There's a real risky way to go through it quickly.
Luckily, we were pretty close to it. Shoutouts to Ireland of Endor for that strat. Yeah, learn from him.
Okay, very nice.
As long as you don't like nudge the platform when you jump up there, the spikes can't kill you, and it looks much more harder than it is.
Even if you nudge the platform for like 1 frame, you get hit.
Very interesting boss. You have to shoot the orb so it switches color. So if the opposite color of the Hyundai Ramos, I think it's called, then he gets stunned. Like that.
But the boss also kind of fakes you out sometimes. Very nice.
Yeah.
If you shoot the orb to switch the color too late, the boss will like react after 3 seconds and change his own color. And
What do you mean too early?
If you hit the orb too early. And if the orb hits the boss while it's the same color, the boss goes into an extra pattern and remains invincible. And so you really want to shoot the orb right before it hits the boss. And if done in the right spot, you can just sit on the wall like Spiriax did and just mash him down. And he had a very good fight. The boss didn't really give him any crappy patterns. Last teleporter? No, one more.
Yeah, the B teleporter, which you pass by pretty early in the game, but at that point you don't need it, so it's left for later.
So it was convenient that the teleporter seed you picked up was right next to the area that required the slow fall, which was the item picked up at the end of Haunted Shrine there. It's also from Battle Kid 1. You hold up and you just float down slowly. So it's actually a little bit strange. I haven't seen that mechanic in any other platformer. It might be in a couple. Yeah, the hold up to fall. Hold up to fall on a platform. It's kind of rare, but you get used to it quite quickly, and it's a really nice mechanic.
The only problem with it is when you're steering left and right and you accidentally press feather. That's like the only downside of it.
Really, ooh.
That'll be precise on controller.
Follow the D-pad very well. So we're...
I guess I didn't want to go for that. I hate this room.
Pandas.
Yeah,
Back.
there's no way to improve it.
Can I cut in for another donation?
Sure.
We got $50 from Asker. Love me some Battle Kid. Good luck with the rest of the run, Spiriax.
Thanks, man.
So the point of this section, in order to access the next major area, you need an item that will let you navigate through the sludge much better. The X sludge is the item, which kind of replaces the oxygen tank from the first game since you start with infinite oxygen in this one. But the X sludge will pretty much just turn sludge into a normal water mechanic. So no more sludge after this, at least for a little while. Kind of makes it interesting because backtracking these rooms is completely different as regular water physics.
I like this room, you just don't need to care about anything.
Yeah, it's cool how a few rooms work out like that. You just hold right or hold left and it just works. Just side remark, the music in this game is phenomenal. It's just both the first and the second game. For everything being done by one guy, just the soundtrack is just absolutely stellar. Every track.
Big shout outs to Civax for that one. We got a $5 donation from Chris Core. Really impressive run. Keep up the good work, boys. Onward on beating diseases around the world. Love from Franz Coro. By the way, just met Kill Sleepy %.
Now with the X sludge, as he moves to the next area, the game's going to tease him a little bit with the first Erexium shard, which is some plot element that after defeating all the bosses in the series, you'll need to find all these shards. So getting the first one out of the way. So that's all the X sludge was needed for, is to jump over that little pit right there, so we can access the next area. He has to find a skip for that.
Fun room.
I find this particular water section really annoying.
Yeah. I want to do this room fast, but it's almost I can't get consistent at that.
Very nice. Entering aquatic base.
Yeah. Awesome song.
A lot of really interesting kind of underwater room puzzles here. Really good enemies. This is a really fun area to play for being underwater. So like you mentioned earlier, the underwater sections. Most games you hate them, but this game is still really good.
Yeah, solid, right? Like playing change the game.
Still very similar mechanics. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not like Mario. Well, this area introduces these jellyfish enemies, which are really weird, and they shoot these shots that home in on you 3 times.
I love this, guys.
Hate 'em. Ooh, that was very nice. Very nice. That room, you have to have very consistent movement in order for that little jelly bean dude to be in just the right spot. That looks hard, but you just hold left and hold right.
I had no idea that worked. Guess I didn't think of that when I made the game.
Yeah, Savak did some Let's Plays on YouTube. Like, if you're interested in this game or how it's made or some of the history behind it for both games, he does Let's Plays of both and has full commentary on like his development process and some like early development ideas. It's real fantastic watches. And he had mentioned that a lot of the rooms he wasn't aware of, you know, just being able to finish them by holding left to right. It just kind of happened. So I think is pretty interesting. That just kind of emerges speedrun strategy. One frame dumpster.
This room I won't do fast. I hate this room. It's like a curse.
Yeah, that last room. If you try to go fast, you just have like a 2-frame window to pass those fishes. But that was a very nice aquatic base. Making it through Deathless on that area is very tough. And the game gives you a slightly easier boss just as a congratulations.
Yeah. It's very cool though.
Oh yeah, it's a really interesting pattern. You have to kind of look at his like carapace. There's these three indicators that tell you where the shots will fall down. It's close, Pat.
What's it called? The lobster bot or something?
Yeah.
Lobster bot.
Yeah. That was surprisingly bad RNG because when he shoots from its back, it's only when he shoots in front of him that it's really bad. Otherwise, you can just stand really close to him and mash. Taking it a bit easier because I didn't save the boss.
Hitting those eyeball guys is particularly kind of frustrating. You have to have really, really good mashing and short jumps and still land 4 hits while their eyes open. Last teleporter. Going straight into the ice glacial caverns. This is my favorite area of the game and favorite song of the game. Really, this is where I think this is kind of where the game really starts to ramp up in difficulty. These sections are particularly long between save points. Just a lot of really nasty puzzles with ice physics. These Sasquatches have like 8 HP. They're usually pretty
Thanks for that
uneconomical
mashing
to
strat
kill.
there. I learned that from you. Oops. Dang.
Sorry.
It's casually,
No problem.
you really have to like stop and think a lot. Like, especially the ice bugs. Like you get so confused at first, like what's going on.
Yeah, it's nice that in many rooms, it's not, even though you can consider it a trial and error kind of game, once you learn the mechanics of the enemies, you should be able to discern a strategy in pretty much every room just by looking at it. If you take the time, like just enter the room, watch what's going on, think about it, and if you're familiar with the mechanics of the enemies, then the solution should be obvious, usually. So the only thing that's actually trial and error in this game is probably the final, or any boss. Turn of these, call them the proximity spike blocks.
Yeah, the spike pressure. Well, get up.
First section down. Thought it was, so this game came out in what, 2012?
Yep.
I was watching Savak's Let's Play of this, and it was interesting that he mentioned that this track that he composed, he actually did back in like 2002. It was like the oldest track that he composed for the games. Crappy room. Little ice blocks that the that the abominable snowmen or whatever, the Sasquatches, I don't know what you call these things, When they shoot it, like, oh shoot, those jumps, man.
Crazy YOLO.
You're addicted to them. When the ice blocks are like crumbling as they're about to despawn, their hitbox remains for quite a while, so it could be a little bit deceptive when you're trying to move through them.
What was that?
The second and third section of the glacial caverns are really, really nasty. Just so many rooms in between save points, probably like 12, I think.
Mashing though.
Wow, what? I took so much punishment for going for that.
Yeah, it's the last room, or second to the last room
Yeah.
of that checkpoint section. Okay.
Finally.
Last checkpoint section just kind of wraps up all of the mechanics it introduced in the glacial caverns. This room is particularly interesting in how you manipulate the spawning of the movement of the spike blocks to move through it as quickly as possible to trigger all the keys, to hit all the keys. That is the fastest possible way to do it.
He knows his rooms.
Yep. If you just hold left and fall, you miraculously dodge that shot every time. Ooh. Very nice.
Wow! Okay.
There you go. And we're through. Okay.
Little Easter egg there in the background.
Yeah, a little.
Cleo from the first boss.
What's this guy's name again? It's
Misha.
Misha. Really easy in a speedrun. Really, really hard in casual play. A lot of people spent a lot of time on this. We had a big old blind race. But very, very nice fun.
I thought it was Chill Penguin.
Okay, I will grab the save now.
So, having acquired the double jump, one of the Erexium shards is nearby, so it's optimal to go for it. So, time for a game of Simon. Very nice.
Okay.
So, there's no strategy for that. You just have to be good at Simon, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can give you a crappy just cycle that your brain can't process very well. Sometimes it'll be like 5 in a row on this corner. That's easy to remember.
Yeah, exactly. And you can shoot much faster than the rhythm you're given. But I tried to go faster before, and everything that happens is I shoot a crystal I'm not supposed to and die. That's pretty much all that happens. So I'll do it really slow now.
It goes, I think, 2 sets of 3, 2 sets of 4, 2 sets of 5, and then the final one is a set of 6. That's the hardest, of course. So he's just trying to get back to the closest teleporter. Having acquired double jump, many of these rooms can be traversed quite differently.
We got $10 from Nikolai Dowd, stuck in a plate. Lobster Spot is the old bot of Battle Kid 2, but I do think he's talking about Battle Kid 1, right?
Oh, that's weird.
Thank you so much for the donation anyway.
I have this kind of issue where sometimes when I'm trying to hold the diagonals, I won't get it. So that's exactly what happened there.
Interesting, as soon as you enter the power station, Area 6 here immediately starts off with a boss fight. Second appearance of Helga. You might remember her from the intro stage about 2 minutes into the run, although she has advanced some of her patterns a little bit. Very nice one.
Okay, so this save here to the left, I rarely, I always go back and take it, because it's like, this section is so long, and it's just after that boss battle, so.
And I would say this is a little bit easier than like the Glacial Caverns and maybe even the aquatic base. But the screens are much longer. And this is the first part where there's a design based around double jump. So a lot of, and the return of the UFOs from the first game. And of course, quick man beams.
Boss is gonna make up for the lower difficulty though.
Oh yeah.
See.
Alright, free save here, since we just run through it.
This room plays tricks on your mind trying to figure it out for the first time, but it's quite simple actually.
Yeah.
Sun though.
Oh, great. Man. The intended speed running here. Ooh. Pay attention in this room, you see the key 3 block up there. It's very important to remember that on your first playthrough. You'll have to backtrack for it. Okay, very nice. We're through.
So I died over 100 times when I play this casual. And I think many people did. Speedrun is going to use some strats at this time though to make it a whole lot easier than what it could be. By standing in the corner and dodging.
There's one pixel you can stand on that you're not on the spikes, but when the guys spawn, they don't hit you when they jump close to the wall.
He's been like 1 pixel more to the right, he would have died.
What makes this boss isn't particularly difficult once you know how everything works and you have a strategy. But what's hard just because you die in one hit. The boss fight is so long, it's difficult to adapt to the later phases of the fight. So it's the Timmy clone machine.
Yeah.
That slowly gives the Timmies more and more power.
Yeah.
Now they shoot, but they can't mash.
Indeed.
Inconceivable. 2 + 2 equals.
This is awesome.
God.
Oh man. Very nice. Probably a nice relief to get through that boss.
Dying there loses like 2 minutes or something crazy.
So if you look at the top right of the screen, and as indicated by that cutscene, all of the bosses in the main area are defeated, and the objective of the game now is to either go to the like launch pad or whatever it's called and experience the bad ending, or go and collect the remaining 5 Erexium shards, which are placed throughout some of the previous areas you were in the previous major areas. If you remember, he already collected the one from the Nexus of Caves, and also the one from the Glacial Caverns.
The thing about Battlefield though is that you actually need to collect the shards, because if you go without them, you don't really get a bad ending, because if that was the case, then that would be 100%. But you more like get a game over, so you actually need to collect them all to beat the game. So not really 100%. That's
Right.
Yeah, good clarify.
There are some things that you can do except for collecting the shards. Like, there's some secrets. I shouldn't spoil it.
Some interesting stuff still left in the game.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing, most people might not be familiar if they played through it. There's what I call the game over bad ending. If you actually get there with 0 shards, it's a slightly different ending. But that's rare because most people will pick up that cave shard that it kind of gives you along the way. If you skip it, then you got a slightly different cutscene at that point.
Nice Easter egg. Right.
The the next puzzle in the Erexium shard collection. You just have to look at the zeros at the top to figure out where the safe spots are.
Yeah.
Better no binary.
You would think you could just pause and look at the numbers, but Civac actually disabled the pause function here.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I never tried.
That means you're not a cheater.
Very nice.
Come on.
It's not too bad if you stay near the middle and just kind of watch for the closest 0 and move to the closest 0. But the next puzzle is an interesting one. The
So
Bane of Blind Races.
Co-op time.
So the way the next puzzle works, it's in a haunted shrine, so he's going to backtrack there. It'll take a little bit to get to, but there's 26 possible permutations of this puzzle. You have to, I don't even know how to describe this. You have to like spell out Erexium. The game will randomly generate a letter for you, and then it'll show you a few different doors. You have to, each letter is corresponded to a number from 1 through 26 in the English alphabet. And you have to add the letter you see on screen to the letter of the door you just entered. Or no, the letter of the door, the letter that is revealed by the door you just entered. And then it'll give you some number that's probably up to 52. And then you just go divide it by 26, take the remainder, and then that would be the letter corresponding to the next door that you take. And you do that for all 8. But as a speedrunner, we just look at a thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so
C.
O.
Z.
O. The letter O.
Okay.
G. Y. B. K. F. S.
All right,
There it is.
thanks. Yeah. I got a bit confused there because when I said C, I was like afraid I meant like the 3rd letter in the alphabet.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
Z.
I want to make sure you like look at the right
All
one.
right. I was watching, yeah.
Okay.
But you could do it fast in your head, I guess, but you probably, unless you're some kind of, genius.
In the beginning, I
5
thought
seconds
like
per-
when I was getting a bit better at this game, I thought I would know all the combinations, but I think what would happen is I would just like freeze up and it will go slower anyways. Like sometimes you can't come up with a solution here.
26 combinations of 8 just seemingly random letters. Yeah, that'd be, maybe eventually.
I don't think the game pushed that hard yet, but maybe in the far future.
But I still think it would still require some reaction as to tell which door to go in. So I think the truly optimal way of playing that section would be to have somebody else immediately identify, or I guess the best way to do it would be to memorize the locations of each door for each letter. So as soon as you see, okay, start with Z, then I know all 8 possible,
like that.
8 door orders to go in. That would be the best way to do it. If you had a photographic memory, I guess. So the sewer recollection, these are some really short screens, but really, really scary.
Yeah, especially casually. These rooms are brutal.
There you go. What's interesting about these, I'll explain afterwards. There you go. Okay, good. So all of the Erexium shard collections, or most of them, are interesting in layout in that you go and collect the shard and then you have to backtrack through the same rooms without a save point.
This is where I went down to go to the Aqua base, but this is like a shortcut you otherwise never see. And this is where I come up in the beginning of the game.
Backtracking with double jump, making it, you're both backtracking and you have double jump, so all these rooms are played a little differently.
Yeah.
Upcoming aquatic base Erexium shard is also particularly scary. Just like the previous one, you have to backtrack without a save point. Paid attention after what Lobster bought. There was a key 3 door right above, at the top of the room right after him.
I'm gonna have to go far away.
I don't blame you. That's a long save point. Yep.
Alright.
Good to hear more of the music though.
Oh yeah. Sweet. Ah.
Reset it.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Many of these rooms are even scarier on the way back. Okay, we're through.
So scary. I had a lot of trouble with that when I played casually.
Yeah. Backtracking, just for some reason, was really, really hard for me there too. Those are all of the main shards. There's still one left that's not in one of the main areas. It's instead, oh, I guess it is. It's in the very first area that you come in. And it's a little interesting in how the game teaches you to find this shard. If you pay attention, when Speedrun gets to the outside area where his ship is, he'll climb the cliffside. And you'll notice most of the walls that you've been climbing on are these clearly marked like metal tiles. But this is a different tile set. You can see it looks slightly different than a wall you can't climb. Slightly different. You discover that by just simply jumping off of that ledge instead of climbing the wall and floating all the way left, and you enter a different secret area, the secret area just below this room. Okay, only dangerous part. And then the game kind of puts you into a section that you have to climb, that you can only climb out of by realizing that the wall is climbable. And then that kind of teaches you, hey, why don't I try climbing that one as well? Pretty interesting. Metroid style.
Yeah.
Killed the bosses and get to that final area. But having all 7 shards actually lets you proceed.
Yeah. And this might get you think of Mega Man X.
Wow, yeah. I never thought of that.
Oh, the layout of the portraits. Confronting Ivan and Helga and their crazy machine. I wish I could better explain the story for you guys, but you can catch some glimpses of it and just buy the game and experience it for yourself.
Yeah. Mega cannon.
On the Dr. Wily's or the yeah, the spaceship. That's too far. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Well played.
So, in like classic Mega Man or Battle Kid 1 fashion, the final area just kind of wraps up everything you've learned, puts all of the enemies and obstacles into one area, and mixes it up and kind of challenges everything that you've come across so far. But you start off with Ivan round 2.
I love this area. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's,
The design, music, level design. Everything.
music's really good. If you just sit in this section, it only plays the first like 15 seconds of the song, and then the main song will start up in a moment. Jump and mash. Ivan's all about jumping and mashing. Very nice.
Pretty insane.
Killing him before he does the beam the second time is very fast. So I think it's interesting that this is an unskippable cutscene, and it lasts just the right amount of time for the music to go past the intro and go right into like, you know, the main part of the song right as you start the stage. It's
really cool.
3 areas separated by checkpoints until he gets to the true final area of the game. Oh! I didn't know you could do that. That's crazy. You sit there and you shoot the pandas forever. The rats or bazooka guys, whatever. Hold right. Oh, no.
Better do this safe.
Fine.
I had a really good start at that section, so didn't want to die there.
Ah, the mashing.
Ooh. Mashing, jumping like the small corridors is the best.
Yeah.
Okay, last section for this phase of the final area. That's hard to describe though.
Yeah.
We'll do the last part of the game. There's a lot of final areas here.
Wow, that was weird. I usually shoot both.
Final panda. Okay.
All right.
What's going on?
Oh yeah.
Come on, you saw it coming.
So just like in Battle Kid 1, you lose all the items when you reach the final area. The reverse nonogram, which yeah, messes you up. Back them all again.
Just like some of the Erexium shard sections, the theme is to backtrack through the area you just moved through to collect the item. And it's interesting that the game actually gives you the items in a different order than they did in the main game. So now you have slow fall before you have wall jump.
I think it's cool. You did that in Battle Kid 1 too. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like I can't remember. It was something that you hadn't like felt before with the controls.
Yeah. You never felt in Battlefield 1. It was like you never felt double jumping without slow fall.
Yeah.
And it gives you that
yeah.
opportunity. So this is a nice surprise. Instead of recollecting double jump, they give you triple jump. So it's just to change it up a little bit. It was kind of a nice surprise that it wasn't exactly the same.
Oh my god.
Really scary strategy for that room. Okay, and these
All right, we got it.
That's like, I always called that the hardest section of the game.
You're gonna give us heart attacks, man.
Oh, and you have triple jump while not having X sludge, so a little bit more sludge at the end of the game if you remember that from before. It's a particularly long section too.
That was close.
Risky strategy for that room.
Come on back. Oh, that's bad. There we go. I'm gonna have to do the safe slow way here.
This room is awful, absolutely awful to speedrun through. Unless it's easy mode, you just plow right through the guys.
Yeah. What I usually try to do is, come on. I try to shoot only the guy at the very top and skip the lower guy. But yeah, I'm not that consistent with that yet.
And it's interesting that you have to actually fight, what is this? Like the boss is like the mud, muck swimmers. You fight the boss while in the sludge, the only boss that you actually do that with. So even at the very, very end of the game, Sabaka is like, changing it up a little bit, getting you in slightly unfamiliar territory with mechanics you've already used.
Now I can't do much.
It's nice to kill them both at the exact same time, but okay, that was still a very nice fight. Both the X sludge and the wall jumping here, and you get to backtrack through that section as if it were just normal water. That's it for the recollections. This will let you go to the actual last section of the game and into the final bosses.
You can shoot that like summoner, but it's kind of minor.
Here's the last platforming section before we wrap it up. This is a particularly interesting section to do fast, or this screen. I like it quite a bit. Just both manipulating the spawns of the UFO and the shots of this guy.
Oh, what?
And good old quick man to finish it up. Very nice.
All right,
No more platforming.
let's go see Helga again.
Helga 3.
This
So,
boss is amazing.
similar patterns to the previous, but she's learned a few new tricks once again.
Gone wild.
Well, she just does that over and over again, but yeah. case you didn't do that before you got triple jump.
It's a similar attack with double jump.
All right, that was good.
Yeah, that was good. The final battle with Ivan. This is really, this is one of my favorite final bosses in almost any game. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Really fun to fight. Very challenging the first time you play it. You need very quick reaction. And
Like a shoot 'em up.
one cycle. One cycle. Yeah. So now the Metroid-style escape. The way that boss works, you have to destroy those two pylons on the top left of the and top right of the screen in order to make his core vulnerable. And then he has 4 different patterns he can use, and he has 6 cycles of a random choice of those patterns before his pylons regenerate. So he was able to kill before the pylons regenerated. So fortunately, this escape section is extremely easy. The game's pretty much over at this point. The escape section is designed to be easy enough so that when you finally defeat the final boss for the first time, it doesn't just, kill you in the escape section. It's usually you can make it the first time through. He just has to, it makes you collect a key 4, which blocks the exit. Nice. The triple jump to get to the very top is really precise. You have to release and repress A at the peak of your jump, and have the button released for a short amount of time as possible.
Okay, I fell. Catch just last frame.
45 on the timer is really good.
Bam.
Oh, there you go. 32-33.
That's pretty good, right?
It's a fantastic run. Yeah, that's absolutely
What's your
amazing.
world record?
The world record is at 59:48, so it wasn't
Really?
too far.
I mean, you died a lot.
Even though I took
7
like
minutes?
a load and load of saves. If that run would have been without saves, I think it would be a record.
It was mostly that glacial caverns, like second section, like last room death. That's second to last room death with disappearing blocks and the low-hanging spikes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so many of those one-framer jumps. Those are great. And so for completing the game, depending on what difficulty you completed on, the game rewards you with a password. And this game is loaded with extra features. The password will be with the stat screen after the credits. I don't know, a lot of time to see it or not.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It takes a little while.
Yeah.
But each difficulty gives you a new password. There's like 3 different bonus stages. There's a sound test and a debug mode.
There's somebody in chat asking how many deaths is world record?
The world record is at, I think it's like 13 or something.
13.
Yeah, I think. But it was like mostly just really, really small deaths, close to saves.
Yeah.
No, I think it's 7 deaths. I think it's like half of that. I'm a bit confused.
My PB is a 10401, and I had like 6 deaths. But they were awful deaths.
Has anyone ever beaten this on unfair, like Battlefield 2?